Fourth grade lesson 7.6 is rename fractions and mixed numbers. The essential question is, how can you rename mixed numbers as fractions greater than 1 and rename fractions greater than 1 as mixed numbers? So sometimes we've been talking about the in-betweener fraction as between 0 and 1. Sometimes they do go over 1, and we're going to see what happens when that happens. Unlock the problem. Mr. Fox has 2 and 3/6 loaves of cornbread. Each loaf was cut into 1/6 size pieces. If he has 14 people over for dinner, is there enough bread for each person to have one piece? Okay, well, a mixed number is like this, a number represented by a whole number and a fraction. It's a mix of a whole number and also a fraction. That's what a mixed number is. And you can write mixed numbers as a fraction. In fact, sometimes when you're calculating with fractions, you need to convert it into an improper fraction from a mixed number. So this is going to help us learn how to do that. Let's start by doing these steps. Now, you won't always do these steps. You'll get used to it. This is just so that your brain knows what's happening. You'll have a different set of steps you use. But let's take us through how this all works. So we have 1 piece and 2 piece for the two whole numbers. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 6. So we have 1 and 1 and 3, 6. We have 1 whole piece here, 1 whole piece here, and 3/6. Then we're going to find out how many 1/6 size pieces are in each whole. So the whole thing, how many 6 size, if we cut it into 6 pieces, how many 6 will there be? Well, there would be 6/6 because it's the whole thing. We cut it into 6 pieces, but the 6 pieces are still there. And the same with this one whole too. There's 6/6. And then, of course, we've got our 3/6 over here. Now all we need to do is add our numerators together. It's still cut into 6 pieces. So our denominator stays 6. Oopsie, 6. And we'll just add up all of our numerators. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 3 more is 15. And if you were to count here, we would have 15/6 there. It's still the same amount, isn't it? It's just written differently. You have, and look at this here, you'll notice it looks funny to us, or it might look funny to you, to see the larger number on top of the smaller number. I always would tell my students, it's like an upside down snowman sitting on his head. Oh no, right? The larger number is on top of the smaller number. Anytime you see that, that's called an improper fraction. A proper fraction has the small number on top of the bigger number. It's a proper snowman. He's so proper. An improper fraction has the larger number on top. But anytime you see that, it's usable and it's fine and it's still representing the same amount. Anytime you see an improper fraction, you just know that we're talking about more than one item. There's, in this case, 2 full and then some more. So we're on the number line further up than 1. So remember, in our scenario up here, he has 14 people over for dinner. And if he cuts those 2 loaves into 6 slices each loaf, and this is how much he has, does he have enough for 14 people? Well, he has 15/6, 15 slices basically. So there are 15, oops, that you can't see that, 15 6-size pieces in 2 and 3/6. So there's enough for 14 people to have a piece of bread, 1 piece of bread, and 1 person else will get a second one bonus. But yes, there's enough. It was hard to tell if there was enough until we made that into this improper fraction. They both mean the same amount. I'm just representing those 2 numbers differently. These ones are all cut up, and these ones tell me I have that whole amount with a few more. Let's see another example. We want to write a fraction greater than 1 as a mixed number. Okay, to weave a bracelet, Charlene needs 7 pieces of brown thread. Each piece of thread must be 1/3 yard long. How much thread should she buy to weave the bracelet? So this time they gave us an improper fraction, which when we see that bigger number above the smaller number, we know that there's more than 1 whole piece. They want us to write it as a mixed number so we can really visualize how many whole pieces do we have and how much of it is left a fraction. So this is the reverse of what we did before, and here's how you do that. So we'll model it first. we're going to go ahead and have 0 thirds, 1 third, 2 third, 3 third, 4 third, 5 third, 6 third, 7 third. Okay, and there it is all written out. I did 1 third plus 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 1 third is 7 thirds. Find out how many wholes are in 7 third. Remember, anytime we have this cut into thirds, right? And there's 3 of them, 3 thirds. So there, right there, is 1 whole. And then go 3 more, 1, 2, 3 thirds again, and there's another whole one. And so you see they wrote here 3 thirds equals 1, and then 3 thirds, 1, 2, 3 thirds again equals 1, and then what's left is 1 third. So I have 1 whole plus 1 whole plus 1 third for a total of 2 whole ones and also 1 third more, 2 and a little bit more, 2 and 1 third. So Charlene should buy 2 and 1 third yards of thread. Let's look at the share and show now. They want us to write the unknown numbers, write the mixed number above the number line and fractions greater than 1 below the number line. So we're just comparing these mixed numbers with fractions so our brains are making some connections here. Okay, so I have 1, which is the same as 6 sixths. I have 1 and 1 6. Well, that was 1 whole was 6 6, right? So that's 6 6 plus 1 more 6. That's a total of 7 sixths. That was 6 6 plus 1 more 6 makes us at 7 6. And plus 1 more 6 puts us at 8 6. That was 1 whole with 2 sixths. Right? Because 6 6 was 1 whole, and then 2 more gave us 8. Now we have 1 whole with 3 6 there. Well, remember 1 whole is 6 sixths, so 6 6. We're going to add the 6 plus the 3. 6 6. We're going to add the 6 plus that 3 6 for a total of 9 6. You're kind of seeing this pattern here: 6 7 8 9 10. So this one would be 11 6. And I skipped over this one. Let's have a look at this one. And you're going to see the same pattern happening here. 1 and 1 6, 1 and 2 6, 1 and 3 6, 1 and 4 6. Remember that would be 6 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. This would be 6 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. Okay, 2. Well, look at over here. It's going to be 12 6. And if I divide 12 divided by 6, I'm going to get 2. If I divide 6 into 12, the numerator gets divided by the denominator. That's going to tell me what my mixed number is. 2 and 1 6. So now we have 2 again was 6 6 plus 6 6. And then we're adding this 1 6 to it. So that's 6 12 and 1 more is 13 sixths. Oh, that one was already done for us. Whoops. Okay. Now we know this is going to be 14 6. We have 15 6, and then we have 16 6. Okay. 14 6. Let's use that division like I did before. 14, like I did over here. 12 divided by 6 gave us 2. Let's do 14 divided by 6 because we're taking out those 2 that were there. 6 goes into 14 2 times with 2 left over. So we know that of those 14, 12 of them are 2 wholes. And then we still had 2 out of the 6 left over. Let's do the same for this one. 16 sixths. Fractions are really just a number over a number. They're a division problem. So you guys can divide really well, so this makes it easy. 16 divided by 6 will help me get that mixed number. 16 divided by 6. 6 goes into 16 twice, and I will have 4 left over. So it is 2 and 4 out of the 6 left over. That's how you can convert improper fractions into mixed numbers. Simply divide it. Divide the top number divided by the bottom. That top one goes in the house. 10 divided by 6 would get that to you. Watch with these. Let's do 10 divided by 6. We already did that one. We know what the answer is going to be. But 6 times 1 is as close as I can get with 4 left over. 1 and 4 of the 6. There it is. So there's a nice trick for you on how to change these improper fractions into the mixed number version of it. They all represent the same amount. That's what's important that your head understand. 1 and 2 6 is the same as 8 6. That's the same amount of pizza, no more, no less. It's just that you've uncut the 6 6ths of them to make it one whole. It represents easier for our brains. Let's do the share and show on these. So question number 2, they want me to write the mixed number as a fraction. Well, 1, if I want it cut into 8 equal pieces, it's going to be 8 eighths for the 1. And then 1 more eighth for this one. This is the same as 1 plus 1 eighth, 1 plus 1 eighth. And 1 is the same as 8 eighths. I wanted that common denominator. That's why I used 8. And 8 plus 1 is 9. There's that. So the answer is 9 eighths. Okay, this one, number 3, it's the same as 1 plus 3 fifths. 1 and 3 fifths is the same as 1 plus 3 fifths. Let's cut this into the 5 pieces. I still have all 5 of them there, don't I? And then we will go ahead and write out the 3 fifths. 5 plus 3 is 8 fifths. There it is. That's starting to make more sense, hopefully. This 1 and 2/3 is the same as 1 plus 2/3. I want that cut into 3 pieces, so I'm instead going to call that 3/3. That's still 1. And then I add to it the 2/3. 3 plus 2 is 5/3. I'm just going to do one more, but with a, just so that you can catch this. Let's say it was 2 and 1/4. I have 2 plus 1/4. So I would do 4/4 for one of them, plus 4/4 for the other one, plus 1/4. There's another trick to that you'll learn later, but for now, this is the way your brain can adapt to it, and then I'll show you a trick later that will help you. So we have 4 plus 4 plus 1, that's 8 9/4. Okay? I just wanted, these were all 1s, and I wanted to show you in case your whole number is 2, then you're going to have 2 of those, right? Okay. For changing fraction to a mixed number, I've already shown you the trick that's easiest, in my opinion, to do is recognize that fractions are simply a division problem, a number over a number, they're a division problem. So to find out what it is as a mixed number, I'll simply use division because that's going to pull out those whole numbers. So I'm going to do 11 divided by 4. 11 divided by 4. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. That's as close as I'm going to get to 11 without going over using 4. 11 minus 8 is 3. So I have an answer of 2 whole, that's what this is, and 3 out of the 4 left over. So there that is converted to a mixed number. Use division to help you. So this is 6 fifths. This is 6 divided by 5. 6 divided by 5. Well, 5 goes into 6 only one time. With 1 out of the 5 left over, 1 and 1/5, there is 6 fifths written as a mixed number. It is 1 whole with 1/5 more, 5 fifths with 1/5 more. And for this improper fraction where the larger number is on top here, we do the same thing. 13 divided by 10. 13 divided by 10. 10 times 1 is as close as, well, 10 into 1 is 0, right? 0, and then there we go, 13. And 10 times 1 is 10, and I have 3 out of the 10 left over. So it's 1 and 3/10 as a mixed number. So that's how we can change improper fractions to mixed number. We just use division. So if you see that upside down snowman with the large number on top and the little number on bottom, your brain should start recognizing, oh, that's more than 1 whole. There's more than 1 whole, maybe even more than 2 whole. I don't know. And then do the division to find out how much more than 1 whole it is. If you feel like you're understanding this perfectly, go on to Think Central. If you want a few more practice ones, I'm going to do a few more practice ones with you for those of you who need that. Okay, a few more practice ones. This first part wants us to change this mixed number to a fraction, and this now does give us those examples of a larger mixed number. So I have 2 plus 7/10. So I would have 10/10 plus 10/10 to make the 2, and then the 7/10. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 7 is 27/10, and that is your answer. For number 9, I have 3 and 2/3. 3 plus 2/3. That means I have 3/3. I'm using thirds because that's already there. Plus 3/3, that's the second one. Plus 3/3, that's the third one to make up all three. 1, 2, 3. And then the 2/3. Add them together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 thirds. All right, over here, I have 4 plus 2/5. 4 is the same, and I'm going to split these into fifths because my denominator is 5, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. 5/5, that's 1. Another 5/5 is a 2. Another 5/5 is 3, and another 5/5 is 4. That represents those 4, and now I have 2/5. Add them together, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 2 more, 22/5. And there's the answer to that. Here's that trick, and if those people left early, they're going to miss out on it. Watch this. What is 4 times 5? It's 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. And then add those 2 more, 22. What is 3 times 3? It's 9. 3, 6, 9. And then add those 2 more. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Hello. What is 2 times 10? 20. Add the 7, 27. Hello. There's that trick. So those people who left early missed out. And if I need to make the fraction as a mixed number, we started just using the division. 9 divided by 5 to pull out those whole numbers out of there. 9 divided by 5. Well, 5 times 1 is 5 with 4 left over. So we get 1 with 4 out of the 5 left over. There it is. This is an improper fraction with the higher number above the lower number. So we know it's more than 1. How much more? Well, we'll use this to find out. 11 divided by 10. 11 divided by 10. 10 times 1, or 10 times 0 gets me 1. And 10 times 1 gets me 10 with 1 out of the 10 left over. 1 and 1/10 is what we got right here. And over here, 12 divided by 2 will get me that mixed number. 12 divided by 2. 2 to make a 1. No, nothing's going to happen there. And 2 times 6 gives me 12 with nothing left over. So I can just say the mixed number is simply 6. 6 and 0 halves is the same as 6. So 6 is my answer to that. That's how you do these. I hope that those extra practice gave you the confidence to move on and be able to do it on your own on Think Central. Although if not, then in class, if I need to practice more with you, I'm happy to.